Hello and welcome to another edition of Coffee with Casey as we get started here live from the Gallery Coffee Company and the Jamadot stage area. If you're watching, I am not the correct ginger. This is
Any
Brice
ginger is better than no ginger.
Any ginger. Well, you know what? There are a lot of people that will disagree as I kind of move it to the two shot. Hi, I'm Brice Burge. I will be one of your hosts today. Co-hosting with me is the always wonderful Anna Dolaskie. Anna, how are you doing today?
Great. Thank you for having me. I didn't think I'd ever make it on the stage.
Why?
I mean, Casey's gone. Was I your last resort? Did you have 10 other calls into somebody else? Or
No, you're the first one.
Okay.
Yeah,
okay.
yeah. So all right, so how this works, right, is that we've been told multiple times that you've been in that spot. When we call people we call Liz Weiner when we have nobody else that can fill in.
Okay.
So
I'm ahead of Liz now. That's good. Liz, if you're watching or listening, take note.
But that's because Liz is so reliable with everything, and so that's the way that we deal with it. And so it takes somebody different, in my opinion, to be so reliable that you know that you can call them up at any time. And I put more value in people like that and guests like that, because it's like, hey, we put you at this level because we know you're so reliable and you're so consistent. And I wish that other people had that extra background on things.
Well, and you can jive with her. She's very easy to talk with. She's very conversational, has lots to say. She's smart, so she's easy to work with.
Yeah, she's actually commenting right now, and she says, "Thanks?" ? I'm Ron Burgundy, but that's the way it kind of goes, because it's a little bit different when you're dealing with this stuff. We've all experienced this entire summer where we've had worker shortages, peak tourism records, construction out the wazoo, every reason to get burned out, every kind of thought process that you just run out of stuff.
Right.
And now Liz is coming up and saying, I'm all about the show if we want to keep raining compliments on me. But that's the way that it kind of goes. And so as all this has come up now before the Labor Day holiday,
yes,
we get the keys to the car.
Exactly.
So for you, I guess, as we kind of just continue to ease into this segment, what's it like for you to kind of put the headset back on, get ready for things, just dress so fancy that you put me to shame? What's it like to kind of return to live television?
Can I do a
absolutely.
A full turn here? Am I get tangled up?
Absolutely. So yeah, just turn back the other way so that way you don't get tangled. Yeah.
Back. Well, I'm pulling double duty today. It's a long day for me. I'm helping you go co-host. I've got some office work to do, and then of course I'm going into Tracy's, which is where I've been all summer, which is typically the case. I feel like I thrive in that industry, and that's where I'm most comfortable. And it's coming to, the season is coming to an end. I mean, of course, we're getting into that time where it's going to still be busy and steady, but we can all kind of just take a breather, take a moment, talk about the summer, talk about things we want to improve upon, and then just say, you know what, we survived it. I think everybody feels that way in the community. We survived another post-COVID or, during COVID season.
That brings me up to a very interesting question then. And I'm hoping to get some extra input from our watchers on Facebook and YouTube right now. When dealing with tourism and service industry survival, and you're looking at survival of the fittest, how does that showcase the Munising, the Alger County, the UP as a whole, as being this group that survived tourism season? Is it something that you celebrate? Is it something that you just have bragging rights and you just kind of wear your championship belt out there and have that big old wrestler strut? Because I promised Casey that if I was going to host, I had to make at least one absurd wrestling comparison, because that's a staple of his hosting. So do you have that? Is it swagger filled, or is it just that scene from Rick and Morty where they like hop in after the meeting and they just start crying and bawling in the spaceship.
I mean, look, I don't think that anybody who's in the restaurant or hospitality industry can disagree that, yeah, at the end of the season, like, it's okay to have bragging rights. I mean, we are still standing, we survived. And I say survived, I don't mean to insult our tourists or guests or even the industry itself, but like, yeah, it can be really tough. I mean, you are working long days, you're prepping a lot of food. As you mentioned, you're dealing with staff shortages, COVID, the economy trying to, stand up on its own again. And so, yeah, I think it's okay to say, hey, fist bump, we did it. It didn't necessarily suck. I wouldn't say that, each night we went in just to survive. I don't want it to seem like we didn't want to be there. We're certainly doing what we love to do. I wouldn't be there if I didn't love the industry itself.
Absolutely.
But it is mentally exhausting. I believe you used the word gymnastics earlier when dealing with something that's very mentally challenging. I think that's a really good way of putting it. It felt like every day we went into a gymnastics meet and just trying to be as pliable as possible to again survive.
Good job on playing off that metaphor.
I think
appreciate that.
Casey's probably sitting in his vacation chair right now, just proud, beaming with pride.
Oh, okay. I would say completely scared the fact that we're still operating here as it's been about 7 minutes into this opening segment. Brice Burge here with Anna Dolaskie as you're listening to Coffee with Casey this morning on Rome Media, WQXO, SoundCloud, Spotify, and watching on Facebook Live and YouTube. This opening segment is brought to you by Ashley Home Store in Marquette and Escanaba. This show is brought to you by Ashley Home Store in Marquette and Escanaba, where the Labor Day sale is going on right now. There's 30% off or 6 years financing with lots of different mattress options. Go and check them out. Ashley Home Store in Marquette and Escanaba, proud sponsor of Coffee with Casey.
I have to tell you about that. We purchased a mattress not too long ago from Ashley's, and my husband's back problems have completely gone away.
Nice.
Coincidence? I don't know. I got to tell you, it's just been incredible. So
good. I've never bought a piece of furniture before.
Oh, well,
so like it's not against Ashley Home Store or anybody. No. It's just I've never done it.
So you've just been super lucky to inherit
or charity.
Yeah.
Okay. So, I mean,
have you been happy with everything you've gotten?
Yeah, but I mean that kind of goes into the burnout of like the service industry stuff.
I don't think you must not have a good mattress. I'm telling you what, you have got to invest in a good mattress.
But a free mattress is always good. And so like
your back and your joints might disagree.
No, they definitely do. It's my neck right now that's really been hurting a lot. But like and hopefully we'll make that investment. But like I don't know. There's a lot of other things that have to come first, and so it's nice, kind of approaching a year here. Had a big major milestone on September 1st. October 1st will be 1 year here at Rome, and with that aspect, like there's a lot of things that have improved over the last year. So but things had to catch up. Like if you're working so much and you do a lot of other kind of stuff, and I still work an insane amount of hours just with everything that we're going on with. But I also get compensated for it where I wasn't compensated in the past, and you had to work the service industry jobs because hey, if you don't have a bar shift this Saturday, you don't pay rent. It's a completely different scenario than what it was before. Right. So I'm thankful for that. So now we can start talking about these kind of items like, hey, did you know that you can sleep better with a better mattress? And it's just interesting concept.
Well, and also I feel like your work is a little bit self-inflicted because you have asked me before if you can help out. I mean, we've had, as you mentioned, staff shortages and just all the stress of running a restaurant. And you've always been the first to say or text me hey, if you need a bartender, I don't have a clue what I'm doing at your restaurant, but I'll do it. Hey, if you need a server. And that's always appreciated. Of course, I haven't taken you up on it because I've always found a way. I know you work long days, but just that text is really meaningful, and it goes a long ways. Just to know that people have your back. Isn't it amazing in this community where we live that people like Liz can just step up, like,
Mhm.
and just say, hey, I'll fill in. You know, I've watched your show, I listen to it every week, and I feel like I'm part of that community with you, and I can try to do the best I can to help you.
Yeah, and you know, and we see it at all levels because Allie and I have both worked shift at a burger.
Mhm.
You know, there's been times where I think I was talking with Mayor Nettleton a couple weeks ago
Sure.
and talking about him and his wife both doing busboy duties and like clearing tables and cleaning stuff because people can't come in because of a snowstorm or you're overworked or something like that. You know, as many opportunities and because of like looking at Facebook dynamics and everything else, like I don't think the locals versus the tourists really stand out either way. I think you have really good locals and really good tourists and really
Mhm.
bad ones
Of
on both
course.
sides. I think they're kind of equal, but just because there's so many more tourists, it seems like they're worse.
Mhm.
Just because it,
Well, you
but
know,
like,
they're humans first and
Yeah.
foremost, and you know, sometimes
Mhm.
humans have bad days,
Yeah.
and other humans have really good days. And if
Mhm.
if somebody from the restaurant industry has a bad day, and then a tourist who has a bad day,
Yeah.
you know, they tend to clash a little bit. But
Well, to reel in where I was going with this was that like I've seen also tourists step up just as much. I
Yes.
feel like the community in itself gets to this spot where it fosters an idea that the next man is up at any time and you don't know if you're the next man up. And I've seen tourists work a 3-hour shift in restaurants in Munising.
No kidding.
I've seen people that, like looking at stuff from Row Media with who likes our pages and stuff like that, people from this part of the county get excited about Grand Marais and they
Mhm.
treat Grand Marais like other people treat Munising. Like
Mhm.
they're up here seasonally, they've invested in property, they're up here for different stuff, and it pays off in an interesting dynamic because you've got the people that feel like this is a place that they can call their own without actually calling it their own. We've had the Uper discussion, but it's not the same thing
Mm-mm.
because it's like a sense of pride or ownership. Like you could not have as many of the charitable or public events in Trinary if you didn't have a crew of 25 coming up from Wisconsin every year.
Right.
The potato auction would be dead after 70 years.
Mhm.
Like you've got people that are like it's the UP 200 and the big events like Ice Fest and stuff like that. Like you're getting outside pull, but then you've also got
Right.
the people that are stepping up so that way, like a spaghetti dinner or a benefit happens, and
Mhm.
it's this very interesting playoff of people knowing that their labor is worth investing because it's what you can give to the area at the time,
Right.
and it helps people out. And when you have either a tourist that has never been in your restaurant before, just seeing that you're working your absolute tail off and that
Mhm.
you need help,
Mhm.
and they do it without asking, or when you have a manager that is coming in and doesn't typically work the floor and sees that things are overwhelming and then just step up without asking, it is so important for the service industry. It's so crucial for that. And I don't think that people realize that if you haven't put in the years in the service industry.
Right. But I think, you know, it's just now more than ever, it's so important to show the people in your life that you are there for them in whatever capacity you're capable. I think that goes a long way. And we've just been lucky. You know, I say this all the time. People, you know, tourists will come in and say, how do you find the staff? How do you keep your doors open? I see that you have all these young people working, you know, this year more than ever. We've been so proud of the team that we have, and they're young, you know, and I see it in just the gratuities that are given out on the floor. You know, I don't know how many times people have come up to me not knowing that I'm the owner bussing a table, because that's my title. I'm owner / bus girl, and I'm proud of it. And they'll say, oh my gosh, you're just doing a stellar job. Here's $10. And I have to go, no, I'll give it, you know, I'll give it to the rest of the team. Like, this is who I am. And they're like, oh my gosh, it's so amazing to see. But to your point, it's just to be there for people. You know, I think people are just putting politics aside, and especially in a community like this, and just putting everything aside and saying, how can I be of service to you? How can I do something that doesn't benefit me that day, but it benefits somebody else and maybe other people?
Well, I think that's a good segue into our commercial break so that we can talk about some of that stuff. You know, the Rome Community Foundation made some recent stuff, and there are some shifts as the tourism season ends. We start to see the shift towards charity events, school volunteerism, that kind of stuff. We'll talk a little bit about that with Anna after we come back from the break. You're watching Coffee with Casey here on Facebook Live, on Rome Media, and our YouTube page, as well as listening on WQXO Munising 97.7 FM and AM 1400.
Bulger County Communities That Care is a local organization that offers preventative programming addressing teen pregnancy, violence, delinquency, school dropout, substance abuse, depression, and suicide. We are looking for members in our community to help with many of these programs and fundraisers we offer. If you would like to get involved, please contact us at elgerctc.org. Elger County United and Thriving, promoting a safe, healthy, and prosperous environment for all youth and adults.
Are you looking for an afternoon of family fun? How about a change to your date night routine? Come to Miners Falls Mini Golf to experience the fun for yourself. Explore the waterfalls and rivers while enjoying 18 holes of miniature golf. Find our latest flavors of chocolate shop ice cream by visiting our Facebook page. Open at noon daily. Visit Miners Falls Mini Golf off of M28, 2 miles east of Munising, or call 387-4653.
Putman's Health Mart welcomes you. Your hometown pharmacy is always here for you. Customer service comes first in all we do. You're gonna find that we love serving you at Putman's Health Mart. Service is still our best medicine.
Putman Health Mart has been a trusted source to handle your prescriptions for over 80 years. They're always ready to help in a personal way with their experienced and well-trained pharmacy staff. Family-owned and operated. Just people serving people. 119 Elm Avenue in beautiful downtown Munising, with convenient parking at the front or rear entrance.
At Putman's Health Mart, service is still our best medicine.
Ashley Home Store's Labor Day sale is going on now. Get up to 30% off select styles throughout the store. Or buy today and pay 0% interest for 6 years with no minimum purchase. The best Labor Day furniture deals are only available at America's #1 furniture and mattress store. Hurry in or visit ashleyhomestore.com to shop and save today. Ashley Home Store. This is home. See store or ashleyhomestore.com for details.
Feels good to be home.
Back. And welcome back to Coffee with Casey. Brice Burge filling in for the younger looking ginger, as I've been told multiple times, even though that he's like 5 years older than me. Not a sore spot at all, but was talking with Dustin and his brother last night, and we didn't know which one was older either. So
does Casey realize his job is on the line, by the way? Like,
no, because this is mentally exhausting for me. So
you'd turn it down if I were to offer it to you.
Probably. I've got way too much stuff going on. I'm relaxing a little bit here, but no, actually I was diagnosed with autism at 29.
Oh.
And so this is me like going through an entire collegiate career and educational format of learning how to be normal.
Okay.
And then just stealing other people's personalities. I'm kind of like on this weird autopilot right now. So I can fake it really well. But no, I mean, I'm dedicated to better communicating skills at every opportunity. And honestly, it was so much easier once I kind of had that diagnosis, because then I could actually apply the things properly.
Well, you must be doing a good job, because I couldn't even tell you're not Casey. Well, the hair gave it away. You're not wearing Crocs. Actually, a lot of things gave it away that you're not Casey.
A button-down shirt instead of some kind of polo, as Angus with an amazing camera change right there to showcase this shirt that Allie, my girlfriend, definitely bought for me, because I would never.
Very nice, Allie.
I would never pull this off, but. Yeah, so
no Crocs is the biggest thing for me.
Yeah, these are actually my dress shoes.
In fact,
they have to be replaced here because they're starting to get worn down, but
I'm almost certain now that I think about it, because I mentioned Crocs a couple of times, that the only reason Casey is on vacation is because he left his Crocs at my house. So he just didn't know how to get to work, really.
Oh, yeah.
He says I have no shoes. I don't know how I'm going to make it. So
No, that's a big one. We're really concerned about
he's
Casey's
very
footwear.
fashion forward.
Yes, because he's got his good Crocs. He's got his
Yard Crocs.
He's got his permanent 4x4 Crocs,
Yes.
where like he's made sure that the back part of the Croc is always on the heel. So
Yes.
he's entered into the 4-wheel drive aspect of things. As Casey may or may not be listening.
The beauty of this entire thing is that he can't reply back, at least not
but
on air. So we'll hear about it later.
Oh
but-
no, we've already heard it.
Oh,
Val
okay.
just commented, guys, he's crying. Stop. So yeah, sure, fine, whatever. Well, it gives us a chance to kind of hit up some of our other comments. Andrew Lacombe saying good morning from Marquette.
Hi, Andrew.
David Seacott saying good morning from Central Indiana.
Oh, hello.
So back to the Hoosier homeland for me. Liz wants to know, does he have winter fleece lined Crocs? Because level up if not.
Okay. Well,
yeah, so Liz
we do a
just
secret
go
Santa.
boom, boom.
We do a secret Santa, so that might have to be on the list.
Okay. Do they make those in?
I was gonna get him an Instant Pot, but now that I know that,
Okay. All right. No, that's noted. So Valerie, don't ruin this.
oh, he'll forget.
Okay, so kind of talking a little bit back before we took the commercial.
Mhm.
Oh my gosh, just the comments about Crocs that are coming up now. Anna Johnstone says, those fleece line Crocs are the best Crocs come October. I didn't know
So they do exist.
I didn't think that there was something called best Crocs. I didn't think there was a best Croc
Oh,
any time
my.
of the year.
Okay.
Liz says, yes, they make them. I own a pair. Of course you do.
What color Crocs, fleece line Crocs should Casey get? That should be the next question.
Okay,
Everybody
all
can
right.
comment,
Yeah,
and I will
we'll make that a
personally
poll.
buy them for him.
We'll make that a
Or
poll.
Secret Santa will.
Okay. All right. Yeah, we'll do that. Please comment. What kind of color do you think we'll go with Casey? I don't have a photo, but this is the best option that we got for here is his
It has to
logo.
match his beard, his personality, and most of his wardrobe.
Great. Well, his entire wardrobe is based around Crocs to begin with, so I don't think it's going to be that difficult. Besides the color change, I don't
Nope.
think that they have that
Oh, boy.
many variations on
Mhm.
Crocs.
I guess you'd be surprised. I didn't even know they existed. So here we are.
Yeah. So, all right. So some of the stuff, as we're talking with Anna Dolaskie, who has like all the bajillion titles here with Rome, that includes the Rome Community Foundation. Because at the end of the first segment, we were kind of talking about helping out each other in community and that kind of stuff. It's
Yeah.
a very big change. And so when you look at stuff moving forward for like helping out the community, what are some of the things that you look at when trying to help others in the community? What is the Rome Community Foundation doing to help with that?
Okay, well, as you mentioned, as we take this breather, we're coming up on Labor Day weekend, and we're sort of able to say, all right, let's step back, think about our season and what we've done, what we can improve upon. It's one of those times in the year where we can sit down and say, how can RCF be of help to the community? As you know, RCF was founded in 2019 as a nonprofit, and we initially kicked off the foundation with a series of concerts here at the gallery space. And because COVID hit and that sort of trampled our plans moving forward. We have some concerts in the works, but right now, we're just focusing on how can RCF be of help in the community. As you know, RCF itself focuses on improving quality of life here in Munising and surrounding areas. We do this through arts, through culture, education, music, and of course, adventure. Everything we try to do, we tack on adventure to it. So most recently, we've been able to sit down and say, all right, where do we feel we can be of assistance? So we started with 4 donations. Do you want me to run through all of them?
Yeah,
at this moment?
Yeah, because I'll put up the screen here. We got some photos of actually Casey. So we do have photos of
Yes,
Casey
we
for the Croc
do.
comparison if you needed them. But
Oh, did he wear his Crocs to the donations?
Yes. No, he wore his good shoes.
Okay.
So
Casey with the good
yeah.
shoes.
Yes.
So I don't know if you can tell, but we were at Munising High School giving a donation to Jim Cody in the amount of $1,500. This donation was made possible by Deployed Technologies to support technology education at the school. And as you know, Deployed Tech has supported MHS in the past with the Quiz Bowl, which you were obviously a key player in. And so this is just a continuation of that work. Moving on to Good Shepherd Early Childhood Development, the preschool there, the donation was made possible by our local business portfolio. And that donation was also in the amount of $1,500. The Pete Hermann Award and Scholarship, another donation made possible by our local portfolio via the Rome Community Foundation. That again was in the amount of $1,500. As you may know, Tom and I have been involved with the Pete Hermann Scholarship since its inception several years ago, and we've just been so excited and lucky to be a part of it and just watch it grow. When Pete first came to us with the idea, he just sent us this enormous letter of how he felt his legacy could go on via this scholarship, award and scholarship. And it was just so touching to us. We made a video, we really connected with him on it. And just to watch it grow and to see what it's become now and how it's so well connected with the school, that's always in the back of our minds, and we help out with that whenever we can. And then last but excuse me, certainly not least, the Munising Hockey Association, again, another local portfolio via RCF in the amount of $1,500. And again, what's cool about the Munising Hockey Association, as again, they don't just support the sport of hockey. A lot of these funds go to fund open skate and just giving the kids an outlet at the skating rink to do what they love to do. So
I'm glad that you brought that up, and we didn't have a photo of the Hermann Scholarship one just because of how we delivered it with COVID protocols and stuff like that. So not everything's going to line up the way that you want them to, but we put it all in one photo just because it's not about the delivery, it's what you do with it, and it's how that connects to the community. Because you have the labor, you have people that step up, they volunteer their time. There are a lot of people that go in and use the seasonality of employment. They take the unemployment for this part of the year, hop back in during snowmobile season, hop back out in the spring, so that way they can do charitable work in the community and have the time to do it. So when you see that balance, we know that the community has always stepped up on that side. It's nice to see the translation of the financial side too, because there are very few things that are as powerful to a nonprofit in need like cold hard liquid funds. Liquid funds are just a huge aspect in terms of being able to make sure that you've got the flexibility, and there's been a lot of creative ways and creatively legal ways to make sure that that's okay. But if you're not actually stopping to think about how these nonprofits and these charity groups are working within your own community, it's very difficult for you to appreciate the work that you're doing with and what they're doing.
Right.
So it's nice to see that, because the other thing too is from a marketing standpoint, and this isn't just Rome, this is everyone that I've worked with. There's something about Youpers that say, I don't want to get recognized for that. And it's just knock it off. You being recognized for that is what's going to spur more donations.
Exactly.
And just watching some of the self-destructive aspects of charitable giving, because of humility, it's
correct.
It's a good problem to have to a point.
But if at the end of the day, you're bringing awareness to an organization in need or a school in need, there's nothing shameful about that.
Right.
Here we are. This is what we can offer. It might not be a lot. It might only be once a year. But let others come together and do the same and say, oh yeah, I forget about the Munising Hockey Association. Gosh, they do so much work. I'm going to look them up online. Oh, here's a donate button. And that's just how it goes 9 out of 10 times.
Absolutely. These are the things that you have to stop and think about a little bit, because if you don't have left foot, right foot, you're just kind of like hopping along and you're not actually getting a firm foundation to springboard forward and actually do stuff. It's very it's very awkward because like when you get to that level and like I mean it's big for me because you know, kind of going back to Trinary, St. Rita's Festival got canceled for a second straight year because of COVID. That's huge for the loss of revenue for that congregation as they move forward, because that was their big fundraiser.
Right.
And then, but you have the Heineken shoot that's coming up, and like that's a big aspect and how that's growing. I mean, oh my gosh, like I mean, we're getting to the point where the Heineken shoot is getting, you know, should be covered just as much as the big golf tournaments are at the golf course, just because of like the weird overlaps there. But I had a couple other questions for you about charity work.
Sure.
But I wanted to bring up another guy that does a lot of charity work is Van Lanschut and Sons, who is our sponsor for the second segment here on Coffee with Casey. They are starting to expand their product line, dealing with dips and snack sticks and the smoked fish options. You saw it here on the show last week, and I brought all of that fish home that wasn't eaten on the show, and I ate it all in the next like 4 hours. It's so good.
That's
it's
great.
legitimate. Stop by their storefront, get some of their product, and have that local fish, because it translates into opportunities like this where you start to see them, you know, active in the donation game. So
Correct.
being on the board with the community foundation and dealing with charitable work in the past, as you know, Brice Burge talking with Anna Dolaskie here on Coffee with Casey, what sticks out to you when approaching a nonprofit for volunteerism or for a donation? What kind of things do you want to see a nonprofit do effectively, so that way you feel comfortable supporting it?
Well, I don't even think it's just me. I think everybody who has the means to donate something to someone wants to see how that will benefit the community. How will that stay in the community? So, and I think as you grow, your priorities change in terms of where you want to give, right? I mean, we have children now, so, you know, our perception of what's going to benefit them changes, you know, once we have them. So each of these donations that we've made in some form impact us as a family, as you know, me and Tom, husband and wife, our children. So all of this will come back around. So that's really, I mean, just to get to the core of it, is I look at it from the perspective of a mom. You know, my kids are growing up in this community, and 5, 10, 15 years from now, you know, will this be something that benefits them? You know, if they're going to be involved in sports, they're going to Munising High School. The Pete Hermann Award and Scholarship isn't going away. I mean, that's their, you know, that's Tom's cousin. So that's their uncle, you know, that started this legacy. So this is all very important to us. A lot of these commitments are personal to us. So every donation that we make and why we choose to do it is very personal. We live in this community. We want to see it succeed. And like you said, yes, I have no issue coming out and saying, this is what we're doing. Again, it's not much for each entity, but this is what we can do after the season ends. We might not focus on it before summer, because let's face it, we're really, really busy.
Of course. You have to prioritize.
You have to prioritize.
You can't give money if you're not making enough money
to
be stable.
You can't cast judgment on your day and feel like you're not doing enough each and every day, because at the end of the day, you are doing what you can.
So, short story, long hair.
Yes.
I donate my hair.
Okay.
Like, I mean, the reason why I started growing out my hair was because I had nothing else to give. Like, you know, just poor college student. And so it's like, all right, well, we got a hair drive every year. You only need 8 inches. And my hair was growing a lot faster back in college. And so it was like, cool. And then I learned more about the process and procedure. And it was like, well, let me get to 24 inches and then I can donate it, because then that makes one full wig.
Right.
Because then your like color combinations and everything, it works out. And so I would have not known about that. And I changed my donation habits because I learned about that through the process that was brought forward in the marketing of the charity itself.
Right.
So to rephrase the question a little bit, because you nailed the public discussion, the personal aspect about why you donate and why you look for certain charities, but flipping it around, what what do you think charities should be doing, especially the ones that are local, especially the ones that are from Alger, for Alger, that kind of stuff, or from the UP, for the UP? What should charities be looking at in terms of their marketing strategy, their public information, to reach out to people and find new ways to create sponsorships, add donations, provide extra trust for the community?
Well, first and foremost, be transparent and progressive, right? I mean, we're sitting here in front of Facebook Live. We've got all these cameras set up. We're on the radio. I mean, that is the key, right? Communication, communication, communication. You have to be transparent with your donors. You have to be progressive and think about how they are consuming information. Hey, I'm on TikTok. I'm on Instagram. I'm not on Snapchat, but I think that's coming, for those reasons. I mean, you have to be able to connect to a younger generation. Change is very hard, but change is inevitable. And I think that you would agree with me in saying that we live in the age of information. We have to be digital if we're not, and that's the only way you're going to get your message across.
Before we let you go,
yes. Oh,
we have our next guest in the wings and our longest commercial set coming up. So we've got about 4 minutes left here, but I know that this is the wrap up time because
that's okay.
One of my broadcasting issues is that I do the Midwestern goodbye to every segment before going into a commercial break. So
I'm getting nervous.
so if you've ever had a 20-minute goodbye, I do that pretty much with going out of a segment. Are
you referencing the meme where it's like, okay, now we're leaving and then we're still talking?
What am I supposed to do? So you see on camera right now, it's am I supposed to just go the dad situation, all right, kids, we're gonna slap the legs and kind of groan / sigh as you get up. It's all right, it's time to end the segment.
If you're a parent, you know very well that you have to set a timer for your children, especially if you have kids that are not accustomed to leaving things that they enjoy. So I usually say, all right, guys, 5-minute timer.
Yeah. So all right, with that 3-minute timer.
Okay, 3-minute timer.
So what have we not talked about that you want to talk about while you've got this opportunity?
I do just want to connect back to Munising High School and Deployed Technologies. I know that if Tom were sitting here, he would want to reiterate the importance of supporting technology education in schools. That is something that is dear to his heart. Obviously, with Deployed Technologies, it's really important for us to spend the time to open up the children to technology. I think that big wave is really what's coming. And whether kids graduate from Munising High School and leave and then decide to come back, that's great. They can leave or they can choose to stay. But I think having the means to go out in the world and seek those technology jobs, I think that's really important. So just wanted to reiterate that. And I think the Alger County Quiz Bowl, that was pretty evident. Our message was pretty evident in that.
Yeah. So for those not realizing what we did is last year when high school bowl got canceled because they couldn't safely get everybody with COVID into the studios at WNMU. And we called WNMU and said, hey, can we do this for the Alger County schools? Because the year before, Munising, Elite 8, Superior Central Final 4, both eliminated by the eventual champions in Calumet. And Calumet gets a leg up on everybody right now because they've got that giant electronics place that's opening up, and all the tech stuff that's happening so close in Houghton Hancock, the Copper Country right there, from basically Chassell to Calumet is starting to turn into the Silicon Canal.
That's great.
It's an amazing aspect.
Tech is cool. STEM is cool.
Yep.
Science is awesome.
So when we have the opportunity to pull up the school that has basically thrown the gauntlet at anybody over Science Olympiad, and the school that has shown up everybody in the robotics programs, which is Superior Central and Munising respectively, and we get them on the stage to come here and talk questions and write questions, yeah, absolutely we want that. Am I completely heartbroken that they did not know the questions about Legends of the Hidden Temple? And
you guys were pretty
Jack
harsh
Kirby
on them.
Yeah. How do you get Ricky Tikki Tavi based on Soviet animators, but you don't get the Shrine of the Silver Monkey. I don't get it. I really don't get it. But
hey, I think you guys had some tough questions, but I think the main point is, invest in our children's future. It was a really fun event, and at the end of the day, it drove the message home. Because
you need all of that, and you need to show that they're welcome here.
And you need to show that jobs like that exist right here in Munising, in the UP. I mean, how fantastic is that? Like I said, sometimes kids will leave after they graduate, and that shouldn't be the case all the time. Like now they have these opportunities right here.
Yes, because we need the tech jobs and we need the mental health jobs.
Yes.
Those are the two that really, really have to make a switch. And, at least right now, doing a good job with deployed technologies, that's what's upstairs for all the people that want to know what's going on with apartments or offices if they've been there forever.
Yes.
That's what happens upstairs. So it is what it is. Anna, thank you for joining us here on Coffee with Casey.
Thank you. This was so fun.
We'll have to
I'll
do
be
it
back
again.
next week.
Yeah, I won't be. Well, we lose Angus. And so guess who has to press the buttons?
Me.
No,
Okay.
it's me. I have to do it. All right. We will take a break, and we return. We're going to have Gary Bovan joining us. He is with Munising Bay Cruisers as they get ready for their show this year. Lots of challenges, lots of fun, lots of classic technology in cars. It's going to be a good time, and we'll get to talk about it with Gary here after the break. You're watching and listening to Coffee with Casey on a host of different options like Facebook Live, YouTube, and WQXO Munising.
Get yourself the freshest white fish from the cleanest lake in the world with Van Landschutz & Sons Fish Market. With over 108 years of experience, Van Landschutz & Sons Fish Market offers white fish, smoked fish, Van Landschutz's famous fish dip, homemade fish sausage, lobster tails, clams, and perch. You can even ship the fish as a gift. 20 pounds required. Visit vsifish.com or call Van Landschutz & Sons Fish Market 387-3851.
Tracy's Restaurant inside Roman and Munising is now open 6 nights a week. Come try our new approach to dining, a small plates culinary journey you won't forget. Enjoy small plates from cheese curds to baby wedge salads to large entrees like surf and turf for two, a collection of quality beef, lobster, shrimp, and bluegill. And top off your experience with our large selection of wine, premium whiskey, and new tap featuring local craft beer. Open Monday through Saturday from 5 p.m. to 10 p.m. Call 387-8000 for reservations.
Need breakfast in a pinch? A sweet treat to help you continue through the day? What about a technically correct way to tell others you're eating your vegetables? Whatever your reason, Gallery Coffee's new selection of pastries are now available. Enjoy muffins, eclairs, fritters, and even zucchini bread, all pairing well with your favorite hot coffee or iced drink. Check out your new selection of pastries now at Gallery Coffee Company, located on the corner of Elm and Superior in downtown Munising.
Hey, did you get the new chicken Uber pasty from Miner's Pasties yet?
No, I didn't. Does it have the tater?
Yep.
Does it have the rutabaga?
Of course.
Does it have the onions and the carrots?
Yep, those two. It's a true Uber pasty from Miner's with all the right fillings and that perfect flaky crust.
That sounds great. How do I get one?
The same as always, down at Miner's Pasties, open 7 days a week from 10 a.m. to 6 p.m. at 201 West Munising Avenue in Munising.
This is the Ashley Home Store in Marquette and Escanaba Munising Minute, powered by Rome Media. Melissa Hall of Chatham has been hired as the new CEO of Gogebic County Community Mental Health. In an area of the state that has been highlighted as a problem spot for mental health care options, the move will help the Gogebic County area. However, it also means that Hall will no longer be able to serve on the Superior Central School Board, and she has resigned. This creates another opening on the board, which was filled last month after a former board member moved out of the district. Letters of interest can be sent to the Superior Central front office. The AAUP faculty union at Northern Michigan University met to discuss a strike from the university on Thursday. As public employees, the professors cannot strike for economic situations, but can strike for unfair labor practices, and union leadership said that latter option was the focus of the meeting. It has been over 60 days since the AAUP and NMU had a contract. Downstate Oakland University went on strike today for similar issues. The Munising Minute is brought to you by Ashley Home Store in Marquette and Escanaba. The Labor Day sale at Ashley Furniture Home Store in Marquette and Escanaba is going on now. Get up to 30% off or choose up to 6 years financing. Plus, we have over 200 mattresses in stock from Ashley Sleep, Tempur-Pedic, Beauty Rest, and Serta. Local, family-owned Ashley Home Store in Marquette and Escanaba. For Row Media, I'm Brice Burge.
Ashley Home Store's Labor Day sale is going on now. Get up to 30% off select styles throughout the store. Or buy today and pay 0% interest for 6 years with no minimum purchase. The best Labor Day furniture deals are only available at America's #1 furniture and mattress store. Hurry in or visit ashleyhomestore.com to shop and save today. Ashley Home Store. This is home. See store or ashleyhomestore.com for details.
Feels good to be home.
Welcome back to Coffee with Casey as we start segment number 3 right here on WQXO Munising, Facebook Live, Row Media's YouTube page, SoundCloud, Spotify, and a host of other things. Joining me now is Gary Bovan. He is the organizer for the Munising Bay Cruisers, which is the annual car show that happens in Alger County. And I say Alger County because you guys go up to Grand Marais and back.
We do.
So that's a great opportunity. So like, all this stuff comes up. I could either try to present it or I could allow you to present it in terms of like what it is, because you hear, I think you hear more like from the person when they say it themselves about what it is. So describe Munising Bay Cruisers for us.
Munising Bay Cruisers started in 2013 as a dream. I had been to several car shows in Lower Michigan. And when I moved back up to the Upper Peninsula, Munising, I'm from this area, I saw a lack of activity for car guys in Munising itself, the Alger County area. It took me a few years after I moved up to finally get it together and have another car guy join me in this effort. And our 3 or 4 main objectives was to have one at the end of the summer, give the guys, gals and guys, car people, a last chance to get their cars out and show them. We have color that time of year, so we wanted to have that ability for them. Who doesn't want to come to Munising? I mean, that's a great venue.
Yeah.
And these guys want to be, I just keep saying guys, you have to excuse me.
Collective.
Yes. They want to take the cars and they want to be up here. And our whole point was, and the vets, we did this primarily to fund the vets the best we know how. So it's a 4-prong deal. And that's the purpose of the car show.
When looking at the opportunities, because there's so many things about a car show that I don't think people really appreciate, because you've got your different locations that people come from, you've got your different types of cars, you've got classic versus modern, you've got your different appreciation for like some of the stuff like when Chris Case brings out like 19 different accessories, right, and including himself as he dresses up in his old-fashioned uniform. There's so many things that go into it about projecting the car's personality into a show. For people that might go to the show for the first time, as a car guy, telling people that aren't car people, how do you discern the personality of a car owner and a car itself?
Oh, that's a tough one. We have a tremendous variety of personalities that come to these car shows. We have doctors and lawyers, professional business people, blue collar workers, and everybody all the way down to just a regular father and mother. Some of these guys and gals work on their vehicles for years. I mean, 10 to 12 years to get them put together in a stage where they feel they can present it to the public. A lot of them are family men, grandpas and grandmas. They have a love for cars. A lot of them grew up the same time I did. In the 60s, the 69 Mustang was my ideal vehicle. I couldn't afford it. The payment was $8 more a month than I could afford. Imagine that, $8. And it's a love of, I don't know if it's a love of that time of year, that time of our life, or the car itself, but it's a combination of both of those. Nostalgia and the personalities are immense. Like I said, we have a tremendous personalities. It's the only hobby that I know of where you can be on 2 different sides of the political fence and still sit there and talk about it without blowing up. You can talk to the doctors and lawyers. Everybody is at the same level at that stage of our society. It's an amazing thing.
When looking at this year's options, you've got a couple of things that are of note in this case, because for the second year in a row, you've got nothing but construction through town. You've had to move the show around so that way you can get that stuff, because I can only imagine that if people are spending a decade on working on these cars, they don't want to drive over potholes and gravel. So this year you're in a new place and you're setting up for that. What does it mean for a car show to move around like that? Even though you've got a home in Munising and Alger County, you've still had to change locations a bunch of times. Tell us about the logistical side of this car show when trying to figure out what places you're on.
The logistical side, the last 2 years have been tremendously difficult. Finding a place to host 120 or more cars has been difficult. Last year, we did it at the Family Fair parking lot, and we ran out of room. We are thankful that they offered us that opportunity, and it was the only one available at that time, so we took it, and it worked out very well. We knew we ran out of room, so we had to find something different. So we thought the field that we're in right now, down by Nina Paper, we didn't know who owned it. I got a hold of the Nina Paper, and they graciously let us have that lot, though it needed work. And we asked Kathy Hill if we could improve the lot. She said, improve the lot all you want to, make it yours, more or less make it ours for the show. And then all we needed to do is provide liability insurance for the coverage. We've had a great group workout down there. We've had to fill some holes, some gullies, because it was never intended to be used as a car show lot. So we've done that, and it's been really well. We've got over an acre and a half of area to park the cars now. We believe that'll be more than enough. Our biggest concern is if we outgrow that, where are we going? We haven't gone that far. We haven't looked that far ahead. As far as the gentlemen and ladies bringing their cars to the car show, we make sure that they are given the opportunity to park the cars as best they can with the help of the vets. And if they have particular needs, we make sure we accommodate that.
When moving forward, you talked about outgrowing. What is the current growth projection over the years? Because you hit 120, you ran into the buzzsaw that everybody else ran into with COVID, and so, but Alger County habitually has shown to kind of be outside of the COVID impacts in terms of tourism and public events. So it's been kind of a statistical anomaly. Is it been Alger County and stuff like that? So when looking at growth projections, how big do you expect this car show to be? How big do you expect it to be in the next couple of years? And how can locals get a part of it?
We grow approximately 10% a year. Our biggest issue, the biggest problem we have, is lack of motels. Though there's so many in Alger County, but they're all full. Mm-hmm. The tourism obviously has been exploded here, and we've told all of our car people, book early, as much as 3 and 4 months ahead of time. They're not too excited to do that because the weather up here is so particularly unpredictable. And so they generally wait for a month or so, well, maybe a month or 2 weeks before the show, and then they can't get a room. That has been our determining factor in lack of growth. Like I said, 10% a year, which is about 12 cars more every year. We're thinking if we get up to 200 cars, we've pretty much want to stop at that place. So the only other place big enough to handle anything more than that would be the airport. And then it's no longer Munising Bay Car Show. It's, what do you do with that? The locals, they can do we need help all the time. We were down at the field. It's a matter of, we only need a couple hours from each person that can give us some time. Supporting the car show and the car cruise Friday night is extremely satisfying to the car guys. We go through the nursing home parking lot with our cars, and they love it. So involvement by the community, one is to help if they can, and to be out there and cheering on the car guys. I keep saying car guys as they go down 28 to Grand Marais.
This segment of Coffee with Casey brought to you by Miners Falls Mini Golf. Time is wrapping up for the seasonal businesses, so don't be afraid to jump ahead and grab some final rounds in up at Miners Falls. It's one of the top ranked mini golf courses in the UP, according to TripAdvisor, Google reviews, all that kind of stuff. It's right here in Munising, and you can get your chocolate chop ice cream, which is delicious. I go up there for ice cream all the time. That's why I can't lose weight. But this is a great opportunity for you. Again, segment 3 sponsored by Miners Falls Mini Golf. With this show, last question for you. What would your pitch be to somebody that has never gone to a car show to come to this car show? Make Munising Bay Cruisers car show the first car show that you go to. Why?
If you want to see what cars were like in the 30s, the 20s, the 40s, and the 50s, which many of our young people now have never seen cars like that, you can see them in the raw state. Some of these cars are not finished. They're as they were when they came off the assembly line. They're not restored. We have cars down there that we call rat rods. They're custom-made cars out of parts that are unbelievable. They use chains, they use everything you can think of to make a car that's legally allowed to drive on the highway. We have new cars. The new Corvettes come to the show quite often. We have a lot of the new Mustangs that come, a lot of the new Corvettes, the Camaros. It's a great place to take your children where it's safe. It's interesting. They can talk to these, the car enthusiasts, and learn about the history of the automobile and what it's done for our country. And there's our Vietnam vets are down there if they want to know anything about what they went through during the Vietnam War and what they go through now. It's all about the community. It's about our vets, and it's about the car guys.
Gary Bovan with Munising Bay Cruisers joining us here on Coffee with Casey. When is the show? Where is the show? Where do you park? Is there a cost?
Okay. The show is 2 parts. Friday night is a car cruise, which goes to Grand Marais. That is free to the public. That's free to the car owners. We park at the upper parking lot of the Pictured Rocks boat tours. We go from there to Grand Marais. The Saturday show is Saturday, 10 to 3. And that is down at the Nina Field paper lot, right north of the new roundabout. The cruise for Friday night starts at 3 o'clock, and we leave there at the lot at 3.
Is there a cost for
on
Saturday?
There is no cost for the cruise. There is a cost of $20 for the car show enthusiasts that bring their cars. It is free to the public.
Awesome. Thank you, Gary, for joining us on the show. Appreciate you stopping by and talking about everything.
Thank you for having me.
All right, we'll take one last break, and then when we come back, we'll wrap up this week's show for Casey. You're listening to Coffee with Casey right here on Rome Media's Facebook page, YouTube channel, and WQXO Munising.
All you need is love and a walking taco from Tacopotamus. Javier is on a mission to fill up your belly and your heart with a giant bag of Doritos or Fritos filled with fresh ingredients, including beef, 3 different cheeses, lettuce, cilantro, jalapenos, pico, and sour cream, all totally customizable. The perfect on-the-go food. Walk away with a walking taco from Tacopotamus today. And remember, all you need is love and walking tacos.
When it's time for you to tackle a home project, you go to 41 Lumber, because you know 41 Lumber has the best products so your projects will last. Every kind of home project, you name it, 41 Lumber has it. And 41 Lumber has the experience to help you with any questions you have along the way. 41 Lumber even offers complete home and project design services. Your projects start at 41 Lumber with better products for better results. 41 Lumber, building your dreams one project at a time.
As you're on your way out of town this camping season, make sure to stop at Hillside Party Store East. We have all your camping gear. We also sell live bait, fire starters, and boiled peanuts. Hillside Party Store East is also your home for Case Country Farms.
including bacons, brats, brat dogs, breakfast sausage, chorizo, Italian, pork chops, pork steaks, and ham steaks. Hillside Party Store East, located between Connors and Hilltop Road.
As things slowly get back to normal in the Upper Peninsula, the employees at Embers Credit Union are here, ready to serve you. Our frontline staff is ready to safely handle cash and checks and answer questions you have about your account. Our loan team is ready to help out with new or existing loans in person, on the phone, or through email. Our commercial team is ready to assist you with your business loan and the Payment Protection Program. We are always ready to take members to the next level. We're Embers Credit Union. Let's live it up.
Picture this, coming home after a long day of work to a professionally laid, personalized tile shower with rainfall shower heads. Does this sound like something you could get used to? Flynn's Flooring in Wetmore carries much more than the beautiful flooring you've come to expect from this family-owned and operated company. A full-service company that specializes in ceramic tile as well as other floor coverings. The team at Flynn's Flooring is waiting for you to stop in to their showroom in Wetmore or call 906-387-1993.
Welcome back to the final segment as we wrap up Coffee with Casey from the Jam It Out studio right here in Gallery Coffee Company. I want to thank everybody for watching today because I am not Casey and I am not as good as Casey, and we still made it work with your involvement. So thank you for joining us on today's show. I want to thank Anna Dolaskie and Gary Bovan for coming on and sharing their expertise to really kind of showcase what this community is. That's the goal here. That's my goal with, all the news coverage and the marketing work that we do here with Rome Media. So this is a community that we want to live in, and we're going to do everything that we can to share why this is a good community. So I want to thank also Angus Horn back in the Jam It Out studio upstairs. This is a big deal because this is the last show that we get before he goes back to school. For his growth process throughout the summer, he's still growing. He'll still be with us on different board hopping opportunities with different sporting events moving forward. But this is the last time that we get to have him for Coffee with Casey. So thank you to Angus. It's been really nice to have you around. For Jam It Outs, for Gallery Coffee, for Ashley Home Store, for Van Lanschutz and Sons, and everybody else that makes the show possible, thank you for watching. And we'll head back now to Good Time Oldies here on WQXO Munising, 97.7 FM, AM 1400, SoundCloud, Spotify, and more.